Over on TikTok, there are a number of videos saying Marilyn Monroe's body went missing for 3 to 6 hours and horrific things were done to it.
Her missing body. Marilyn Monroe died of a barbiturate overdose. Her body was discovered on August 5, 1962 in her home at Brentwood.
As a general population of women that we can please, like, after death, like, have some sort of babysitting system where we don't let the body go unattended? Because after learning what I learned about Marilyn Monroe's body going missing for 6 or 7 hours, and they found something insane, like, was it 7 different men's DNA in her when the body was returned? Yeah.
So are these rumors true? Did a group of men have relations with her corpse? So I'm going to start by pointing out that this rumor started in the 80s or 90s when supposedly an orderly made whoopee with her corpse. There's never been anything to support these rumors, not even a name, and it didn't come from anyone who worked there. It was just an I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy story. Her corpse wasn't missing according to this story. It was simply after the autopsy was done. However, the story going around now seems to come from the first chapter of Jules Asner's 2009 novel, Whacked. I'm not going to read the whole thing, you're welcome to pause, but it basically says that Marilyn's body was used by 2 sets of men over a 6-hour period. It's really important to note that Asner is not, to my knowledge, claiming any of this is factual. Instead, she's pulling from rumors and spinning them in her own way to include them in her book. Not really my cup of tea, and this getting accepted as fact is why I'm not a fan of putting real people in fantasy situations, but everyone has their own thing. Unfortunately, the sample from Asner's book is one of the first results when you look up Marilyn Monroe's body on Google. My guess is someone read it, assumed it was factual, and the whole thing has spread like wildfire on social media. Luckily, everything was documented by the police when it came to the transportation of Marilyn's body, and no, it wasn't missing for 6 hours. So let's create a timeline of Marilyn's body to see where it was. Remember, Whacked claims everything happened before she even reached the morgue, so that's what we're focusing on, not theorized timelines. Eunice Murray calls Ralph Greenson to say Marilyn looks strange and she cannot awaken her. He tells her to try again and call him back. Murray again calls Greenson, who informs her he is on his way over. He breaks into Marilyn's room and discovers she's dead. He calls Hyman Engelberg. Engelberg arrives and pronounces Marilyn dead. The group calls the police. People can theorize all they want on why it took 35 minutes, but her body is still accounted for. Westwood Memorial Park takes possession of her body. According to protocol in 1962, because Marilyn was not murdered, her body will be taken to Westwood. All of the local mortuaries switched off each night on who would accept bodies until they were taken to the coroner. It's a complete coincidence that Marilyn's body was taken to the same cemetery where she'd eventually get buried. Marilyn's body arrives at Westwood. The Los Angeles Coroner's Office dispatches 2 personnel to collect Marilyn's body from Westwood. This is where the only footage we have of Marilyn's body being wheeled out is from. Marilyn's body is brought into the coroner's office where she is promptly placed in Crypt 33. Thomas Noguchi begins Marilyn's autopsy. Lee Weiner plies employees attending Marilyn's body with alcohol. He gets pictures of her corpse, although the only photos released show her toe. The morgue tests Marilyn's organ, blood, and urine samples. Marilyn's body is released to Inez Melson. Melson, acting as Gladys Baker's guardian, has her body transported to Westwood. The paperwork is filed by the coroner on August 8th. After her body arrives at Westwood, Joe DiMaggio stays with it. There's a lot to examine when it comes to Marilyn's death, but repeating false narratives doesn't help anyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more factual evidence about classic Hollywood women.